Yo, what's going on YouTube? How you guys doing? I haven't done one of these gameplay reviews in a very long time, so I really want to try doing it again. I'm setting myself a personal goal today because every single other gameplay review I've done has been slowly getting longer and longer. I think the last one I did ended up being like 50 minutes or something because I ramble on so much about everything. So my goal right now is that this is a 12-minute video that got sent to me. I want this video to be 30 minutes or less. So you can already tell right now if the video is 30 minutes or less, so you already know whether I failed or not, but I want to try my best to not make this go on forever, okay? So just some backstory here. This is a Billy that is around rank 7, and I skipped ahead to, like, you know, see what the ranks are. He's rank 7, and all the survivors he's going against are, like, barely red ranks. They're, like, rank 3 and rank 4-ish. So it's like a little bit off matchmaking. He's rank 7 and he's going up against, like, you know, red ranks. I'm gonna, like, before I actually get into the gameplay, I'm gonna pause it on his build and just talk about this real quick rather than doing it in game. So before we even do anything, his build is Whispers, Barbecue and Chili, Bamboozle, and Ruin, which is, you know, all solid perks. Like, Ruin obviously is like the go-to slowdown perk. Whispers and Barbecue are two of the best tracking perks in the game if you know how to use it. Well, Whispers if you know how to use it. Barbecue is really easy to use. And then Bamboozle is pretty, like, I don't know. I have mixed opinions on Bamboozle, but it's, you know, obviously it can definitely be useful in a lot in a lot of situations. So I'm curious to see how you get that to use. And you also are running Spark Plug and Spiked Boots. So that's slightly faster charge time and then slightly more turning while you're using your chainsaw. So we'll see what you can do with this. You're on Rotten Fields. Let's see how this starts out. Let's go. Also, you're on controller, apparently, which is interesting to know. Obviously, you just chainsaw across the map. We'll see how fast you can find somebody. This is a really important thing as far as killers, like how quickly you can find your first person. So you have Whispers, which is going to help a lot. We'll see when it clicks on. Okay, it just clicked on, as I said that. So there was someone 32 meters from where that just clicked on. You see scratch marks on that tree, and we're going to check the left, the right. Check the left. They might be behind that rock. They might have been behind that rock right there. That rock right there that you're looking at. They might be behind that. And you're checking it. Nope. Okay. Well. Unfortunate. Okay. Just move on. Just move on. Keep going. Just move on. Just keep going. Ooh. And Ruin's gone. Okay. Well. Hey, you found the guy. Nice. That's a big reason why I tell people to not run Ruin a lot of the times. That's why I don't run Ruin as Billy. Because, like, yeah, it has the potential to be really strong, but it also has the potential to do literally nothing at all. Yo, good catch on that guy. That was a really weird play. I don't know what the hell that thing was doing. I guess she didn't know what she was doing either, but you played around that perfectly. What you did was weird. You kind of just, like, stumbled to the side and then swung at it. And, like, I normally wouldn't do something like that, but I gotta give you credit because apparently, according to how that thing played, you played that perfectly. So good shit. I don't really have anything to say about it. I mean, you played it the best you could have. You got that down really fast. That's actually really good. That's a super quick down. You see them over here on this gen, so you chainsaw over. No scratch marks. Are they hiding behind the gen? Don't kick it. No. No. What are you doing? Wait a minute. No. No. Oh, no. Fuck, dude. Okay. First off, you chainsawed over. Okay. You know that they were on the gen. You know for a fact that they were on the gen. So, like, first off, they might be hiding behind the gen. They might be, like, right there behind the gen. But even if they're not, this gen is barely worked on. Like, if you look at the pistons, it's barely worked on, dude. It's worked on, like, maybe, like, 5 seconds. So, like, kicking it is pointless. Like, I can't tell. Are those scratch marks? Those might be scratch marks. I can't really tell. It's really hard to tell with YouTube video quality. No, it doesn't look like it. So, like, kicking this is pointless because it's barely worked on. And on top of that, you just walk away anyway. So, like, that makes kicking that even more pointless because you're just walking away. So if anybody is there, they're just going to go work on it. And now you're just staring. Like, this is all pointless. You're just wasting time right now. Like, nothing. You're not doing anything right now. You gave this guy way too much time to hide, dude. Like, this is pointless now. You gave him so long. The whole strength of Billy is that you catch people by surprise. So, like, here. I know, like, I'm trying not to make this video super long or whatever thing, but here. So, like, the whole power of Billy. Okay, Whispers just clicked on. They are 32 meters away from you right now, which is a little bit further than this gen. Actually, that's, like, right on that gen. They were, like, right on this gen. They were, like, very close. They might have been hiding behind this gen. Either way, one of the strengths of HIllbilly is that you don't give them much time to hide. You know, like they couldn't have gotten very far right now. If you didn't waste any time and you immediately started looking for him right now, you would have been able to find him probably pretty easily. But because you like dick around, you like kick this gen for no reason, you like walk over to this tractor. I don't know, like maybe you thought he was up here, but he wasn't. And then you like stand up here and like look around trying to see him. Like this whole time, you're not really doing any, like you could have just been walking around the gen. Like he couldn't have been more than like 10 meters away. Like there was no scratch marks, so he couldn't have ran. And you got there super quick. So like he had to have been close. He had to have been within like 10 meters of the gen. If you just would have walked around, you would have found him for sure. So you played that really bad and you ended up wasting a lot of time. Like all this time is being wasted right now. Like there's other survivors around the map that are doing gens this entire time. You don't have ruins, so like that makes this time wasted even worse. And now you're just chainsawing away. There's explosion on the tractor. You come over here. Hey, why didn't you go for a chainsaw there? You should have went for a chainsaw there, man. She was in a bad spot. You could have got a chainsaw there easily. And then where are you going? Wait, where are you going? I don't understand what just happened right there. Okay, first off, like this might have been you just like reacting out of like being like surprised. I was kind of surprised to see her too. But like right here, like the pallet's the whole way over there. Like the pallet is way over here and there's a window over there, but if she goes for it, then you can body block it. You can easily chainsaw. You even have spark plug, which makes your chainsaw go faster. You can easily chainsaw this Claudette. This should be a free kill. This bitch right here should be dead, dude. She should be D. That's supposed to be an E. She's supposed to be, she should be DED dead, deader than shit right now. She should be super dead. But you like M1 her. And then even after you M1 her, like it's very clear she goes this way. I guess you thought she was gonna loop around the pallet. I guess that's what happened. You thought she was gonna loop around the pallet, but then she just left. All right, I guess that's not crazy. I guess I didn't realize that the first time. The blood, dude. Stare at the ground. The ground, the blood. There you go. There you go. If something like that ever happens where you can't see them, but they're injured and you're chasing them, stare at the ground and look for blood. Blood is like the best way to track people, dude. If someone's injured, always, always, always be looking for blood. Unless they have like no mither, of course. But you know, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. All right, so you hook her. There's a dude over there you can go get. Yeah, go get him, killer. Go get him. He's going off to the right, so you're gonna go to the right a little bit too. He's right there. He's heading to shack. Okay, he's in the field. No, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. You should have got closer. You should have got closer. This probably won't work. Now he's probably gonna get somewhere. That was a big mistake. That was a huge mistake. And you lost track of him. No, that was such a big mistake. And now you're leaving him? Oh, man, this is so bad. This is so bad. This is not what you want to do at all. Oh, wait, you found him again? But you're not gonna get that. There's no way. Okay, just I know, I'm always pausing. I know, everyone gets mad at me for doing this, but I'm sorry. I have to talk about this. Okay, so, right now, like, based off, like, map knowledge, we know that Shack is right there, off to the right, but he's not going there. He's very clearly not going to Shack. There's a jungle gym over here, but it's kind of far away. Like, it's a bit far away. You could literally run after him until you get close to him and then chainsaw and basically guarantee your chainsaw hit. But instead, you pull out your chainsaw so early. Like, when you pull out your chainsaw, you slow down. You slow down to slower than the survivor. So if you get right up against him and then pull out your chainsaw, it makes it so that you don't really have to like predict him. You can just kind of aim correctly and hit him. But like you pulling out your chainsaw from this far away, all that does is make it so that you can't reliably chainsaw him. Like now he's so, like now he has enough distance that he can juke you and you have to try to like guess which way he's going to juke, which obviously doesn't work. You chainsaw straight and he just jukes to the side. And on top of that, after you chainsaw, you lose him because you, I don't know, you look over to the side for some reason. He just 360'd is all he did. He just turned around. And then you see the explosion, and then you're indecisive, which is also wasting time. This is all just wasted time. Like right now, like literally right now, this guy should be dead. He should be down. He should be DED dead. DED dead, deader than shit. He should also be dead. This is so much wasted time. Like again, you don't have ruin up anymore, so all this wasted time is really, really bad. This is all time that survivors can be doing gens. So this guy should be dead. You made a major mistake. He's not dead yet. Like right here, you might as well just go for an M1. You try to like back up to avoid getting stunned, and he punishes it, which is not good. You don't want to respect pallets. I don't know what you're doing. You're kind of just fucking up now. I feel like maybe he like got you tilted. All right, you're trying to bait this. He went to the right. Yeah, he went to the right. Okay. If you're ever doing that, if you see scratch marks going on to the side, oh. Okay, I feel like this might be a controller issue here. Because now you're just missing. Okay, there we go. You got him eventually. You got him. You definitely got him eventually. Okay, so real quick, like right here, like when you're doing this, it's really clear. Like if you see scratch marks like the whole way back here, you know, that's very like he's like scratch marks won't show up there unless he fucking leaves, you know. So once you see those scratch marks, you can be pretty much positive that he went that way, you know. So like the fact that you see those and you keep looking, he's like, I mean, you didn't look very long, and then you see him crouching in the corn. This is just a case of like you just filled up your chainsaw without stopping. Like you should be filling up your chainsaw to about 90% and then holding it. Like you got to make sure to not miss these. Like instead of just full out revving your chainsaw and like never letting go of L2, you want to rev it. You can't really see the bar, but like you want to rev it until like about right here. Like you want to go till like 90% ish, and then hold it there, and then pull the trigger whenever you're ready. That's like very basic Billy stuff that every Billy needs to learn how to do. You messed that up, but it's okay because you ended up getting it down here. So he goes down. His teammates are still just hammering out gens because, again, like you should have had this guy down like 40 seconds ago, and so his teammates are just doing gens this whole time. You got him. You see all of his teammates on barbecue. Like even that's like a little mistake, but I feel like I need to point it out. Like you see how far away they are right here, and you see that they're running away from you, right? And then you chainsaw. Like, why do you not chainsaw around this tractor? Like you can see this tractor coming from a mile away. So instead of like going around the tractor and getting close to them, you go straight to the tractor and then stop. So like instead of stopping like over here and being closer to them, you stop like right here, and then you have to walk like slowly. Like you're not really getting the best use out of your mobility, you know what I mean? Like you can chainsaw to get closer to them, you know, that way you have less distance to walk. Someone vaults and you're following their scratch marks here though, which is good. They kept going behind you. No, they kept going that way. They kept going that way. They're over there. They're over there. They're over there. And you're going back to the hook? I don't understand like what you're doing. I don't get it. You like chainsawed over, you saw some scratch marks, and then you just like instantly gave up. Okay, you see this Meg though, so it's okay. It works out. Okay. You chainsawed her, that's fine. Like for like for the record, back here, like you can see where he was. Like just based off scratch marks, like it's very clear that like he started from here because of the explosion. He started from here and he went around and he's that way. He very clearly went that way, right? Like as you're walking up, you can see that like these scratch marks are fading too. Like these ones are starting to fade away. Like they're starting to disappear, which means that they're the oldest and the ones back there are the newest. So it's very clear that he went that way. But then you kind of just look over here, which is odd. And then you give up like instantaneously. You like instantaneously are like, nah, fuck this. I'm going back to the hook, which is also like it ended up working out. But hypothetically, if these guys were just on generators and weren't going for the unhook, that would have been game over. They would have just done both gens. But luckily you found a Meg, which is really good. You get to chainsaw her, which is good because you hit it. You didn't miss it, which was really good. They're going to pick her up and take her away. The basement's nearby. Is that where you're going to take her, or are you going to take her outside? Okay, you're going to the basement. Gotcha. I'm guessing they're going to unhook that other dude, maybe, if they're not doing a gen already. Okay, go back to the first hook. Like, go back to the first hook right now. Like, now that you have two people hooked, they should be going for that first hook. You're kind of giving up that first... What are you doing? You're just standing in a field. Okay, they did that gen. That's fine. You're giving them a lot of room to unhook that other guy. Whereas, like, this is basement. Like, okay, if your strategy right now is to, like, defend the two hooks, you're doing this all wrong because you're okay. Like, basement hook, like, say, like, this is Shaq with basement, right? And then, like, this is the other hook guy, right? Like, here's one hook guy, and then here's another hook guy. This is basement, okay? This guy is not basement. you're standing like right here. Like, it's weird that you're standing so close to basement when basement is like the more dangerous unhook. You should, like, if your plan was to just watch these two hooks, you should be standing closer to this one. Cause like, even if you're right here and then they unhook from the basement, they have to go the whole way out of the stairs and shit. You know, it takes them a long time to get out of the basement. So even if you're like over here, whenever they unhook, you can just walk back and make it in time, right? Whereas it doesn't work that way, opposite. Like right now with where you're standing, they just unhooked. They're gonna get away. Like, you're not gonna be able to get them in time. Like, they're fucking gone, dude. They're in Narnia. They are fucking gone. So like, your positioning there was really bad. There was a dude like right. He's in that locker. There you go. There you go. He probably has decisive strike though. Wow, he didn't have decisive strike. Nice. That was really good of you to know he was in the locker though. That was pretty good shit. You end up killing him anyway. Okay, well, that guy could have got away. He kind of made me eat my words, but he definitely could have got away. I still stick to the fact that was a bad play. If you were going to watch those hooks, you should have watched it closer to the one that was in basement. You find this Feng, though, in the field. You got to get out of the habit. It looks like you're in the habit of, like, revving your chainsaw whenever you come up to a pallet. And then you're like expecting them to throw the pallet so that you can instantly break it. You gotta break that habit. That is not a good habit to have. Like this, like that is not a good habit to have. If you would have just like chainsaw feathered or like even just held W, this Feng would be dead. But like you get so caught off guard by the fact that she doesn't drop the pallet that you panic and then chainsaw into the wall. Like, you really got to break that habit. That is not doing you any favors. I'm telling you that right now. As you like rank up higher and higher and you get better and better survivors, that's just going to happen to you more and more. You gotta not get in the habit of doing that. All right, I don't know if you're trying to like curve your chainsaw here. All right, you're gonna bamboozle the window. I'm just gonna see what happens before I go back. I want to talk about that. Oh, that was a really nice curve. Good shit, good shit. Okay, you actually did that one really good. You just barely got cucked. That was actually a really good curve. That was really unfortunate that you pulled out your chainsaw, because if you would have M1'd, you would have had her. That last curve was actually really good. I'm gonna be honest. That was solid. It's you honestly just got completely fucked over by auto aim. I was gonna give you advice on the first curve, but it looks like you kind of already know what you're doing, because that second one was great. It looks like you might just need to practice it. Anyway, you end up downing her. I still think you could have had her down so much faster if you weren't respecting pallets. I think that was a pretty big mistake you did, where you kind of like backed up and tried to not get stunned. You can't be doing that, man. Like, that is so bad. That's so bad, and that you're gonna get punished so hard for that. So you hook her, and you should be checking Shack. That's where you should be going. Okay, and you are, because that's where they last unhooked. They're in lockers, dude. They're in lockers at Shack. Your whispers is still going off. They're in lockers at Shack. I can almost guarantee you that they're in lockers at Shack. That might have even been a pebble. I'd be willing to bet that that was a pebble. Like, what is that? Like, what is that? That is definitely a pebble. Like, the only thing that could be is them self-carrying and then failing a skill check. But I highly doubt that they would be self-carrying in that random spot in corn. That's a fucking pebble, dude. That's a pebble. They're in Shack and they just pebbled you, is what just happened. That is 1,000,000% what just happened. And you fell for it. You are very... They use diversion, and you are very diversed right now. You took this huge diversion. You have no idea what's going on. You have been bamboozled. You have been Smeckledorfed. There's no one out here. They're in Shack. They are in Shack. I'm telling you, they were in a Shack locker. I would put money on the fact that they were in a Shack locker. Yep, and Whispers clicked off the second you got far away from Shack. And you notice it. Look at that. You're like, oh, turning off and on. I see. Yeah. See, I like that you're trying to use Whispers, but you should be able to figure out right now. Like, you should have already known that they were in Shack. All right, the gen's worked on a little bit now. There's blood leading out the window. That was probably another pebble, because they're just charging pebbles like crazy off your terror radius. And now you're walking away again. Whispers clicked off. Okay, you're very confused about this Shack. I'm just going to let this play out, and then I'll talk about it afterwards. Again, you're doing the Whispers thing where you come in and you see when it clicks on and when it clicks off. You're trying to, like, triangulate their position, but honestly, you don't even need to. You know they're in Shack. Like, check lockers, check basement, check anything. Like look around, you know? They definitely might be in basement. They definitely could have gone to basement. All right. I mean, at this point, you gotta either like commit to looking or go check on another gens, which I guess is what you're doing. And that gen's done. Okay, so I'm gonna back up here. I'm gonna back up and talk about this. Okay, so God, that was so long that you just spent doing that. Like that was so fucking long. Okay, so you hook her. Okay, the most recent thing that happened before you hooked her was they unhooked in basement. Okay, that happened like. When did that happen? That happened like right here. Yeah, it was literally as you downed her. They just unhooked from basement, which is in shack, right? They just did it. You hook her, or you down her, and then you hook her what, like 10 seconds later? Like they just unhooked at shack. So they probably just walked up top of shack. They're probably healing, maybe working on the gen. They saw that you downed someone and they're carrying someone to hook, so they're probably very likely like the second you do this and you see no auras, the second you do this, like they were at shack, you know, and there's not really anything that close to shack, right? That has lockers. Like the only lockers in that general area are shack. So the second you hook her and you see no auras, you know that they're either close to you, they either like came closer to you, or they're hiding in shack lockers. And that's why they're not showing up on barbecue, right? It's one or the other. Like those are the two options. So you chainsaw over, which is fine. Like you don't look for them, which is totally cool. Like you chainsaw over. But the second that you get this far and you see that Whispers is still on, like Whispers is still on, meaning they're not close to the hook. That means that they are near you right now. That's when you should instantly be like, oh, they're in shack. And you should immediately turn around, check lockers, check basement, check shack. Check, I mean, like maybe check outside shack first. Maybe check the window and then check the lockers in the basement. You spend so long here. Like, you spend so long dicking around, dude. You spend literally like a minute and a half. That's long enough for one person to do a gen from 0 to 100 alone. And there's 3 people alive right now. And yeah, and I mean, that's exactly what they do. You chainsaw over here and this gen gets done. You just you wasted so much time there, dude. Like playing killer, you really can't afford to waste that much time. Like, you legit cannot afford it, man. That, like, between 3 people, like, that's 3 gens. They literally could have got 3 gens done in that time that you were fucking around at shack and trying to figure out where that guy was. Like, you needed to either explore it or just move on and find another gen to patrol, you know? Because, like, nothing was getting done there. I mean, I guess technically there was only 2 people doing gens because you were looking for one. But either way, still. Either way, you chainsaw over, you find this Fang, you hit her, you kind of go on like this long chase with her. She goes back to this pallet, which you can't really do anything about. You just kind of have to, you know, deal with it. She drops it. You're kind of looking for a play here, but this is a really safe pallet. You just break it. All right. You probably could have did some mind games there, but like, I don't really want to get into that because I feel like I don't want to like overload your brain with too much advanced stuff when it feels like you're not even really got like the basics down yet. You go for a chainsaw and you kind of just hit a wall, which isn't good. She's running through the field. I'm not really sure why you went for that chainsaw, but like, you did. Now you're chainsawing towards the door. She's off to the side, and they're all gonna make it out. Yep, she's on her way out. I mean, this last chase could have been played a lot better too. Like, just here, you know what? Just to tell you what you should have did here. Like at this pallet, you could have either zoned her or fake broke the pallet, and you did neither. Like at a pallet like this against Billy, you can do one of 2 things. You see how she's constantly going the opposite direction of you, like no matter which way you go. Like for instance, if you go this way, she goes that way, right? And vice versa. If you go that way, she goes this way, right? So with that knowledge in mind, what you can do is you can run this way to bait her into going that way, and then coming back and breaking the chainsaw. And that's called zoning. Like, you're basically zoning her and forcing her to be over on this side of the pallet whenever you break it. That way she's in a bad position, right? Like, you could have done that, but you didn't. Or you could have like revved your chainsaw to like about this much and then just stopped. just stopped and then ran this way because she's gone. Like the second the second she sees you pull out your chainsaw and like back up towards the pallet, she just starts running. Like she gets a head start. Like think of like a baseball player trying to steal a base, right? Like they're like trying to get that head start and get that little bit more of distance. It's the same thing with this. Like this Feng is definitely right now, she's leaving and trying to get distance. So like hypothetically right now, if you just put your chainsaw away and then run after her, she'll get way less distance than she would if you break this pallet. So those are your two options and you did neither, which is really bad. Like that's very bad. And she gets all this distance on you, like so much distance. I don't know what you're doing with your chainsaw here. Like you try to like curve in, but all you do is fuck yourself up. You didn't really need to chainsaw here. Like this is an L wall T wall. This is one of the weakest tiles in the game. You didn't really need to chainsaw here. You could have just chased after her and then caught her because that tile is so weak. But you chainsawing, like you kind of fluster yourself. You hit the wall, then you lose track of her in the corn. She's like, you know, she's at this jungle gym now, and then it's just too late. Like she gets too far. So yeah, that was also pretty bad too. You'd see you're waiting at the door. You see a Meg. Break the pallet. Break it. Okay. You're trying to zone her and keep her away from the door. Someone else escaped, so it's just her now. And I mean, the other door is open. She's probably going to the. Yeah, your whispers is off. She's going to the other door. There's no way. You're trying to play door defender, but both doors are open. So that's gonna be it. I mean, they're all gonna get out. Yeah, I mean, this is like the big risk to like running Ruin on Billy though. Like, and you barely even used Bamboozle. I think I saw you vault one window. I mean, they didn't really use a lot of windows against you, but like, you still only got like one use out of Bamboozle, which is also pretty bad. Like, you were basically playing 2 perk Billy this whole time. Ruin's so sketchy, dude. It's so dangerous because if it does get broken early game, you end up just not having a perk, you know? Like, imagine if you had like another perk like Nurse's Calling, you know, then maybe you would have known that you got pebbled earlier. Or if you had like any other perk there, it could have helped you out so much. But Ruin just didn't do anything for you, man. It's kind of depressing. And then, you know, this is what ends up happening. And they actually did have a pebble, so I'm pretty sure I was spot on about this dude was in shack hiding in lockers and throwing pebbles. I'm almost positive is what was happening. But man, honestly, I think a big thing that you got to work on is time efficiency and not taking so long to find people. I think you got to find people better. Like you're like, I can tell that you have the gist of like knowing what to do. Like you going for chainsaw curves and stuff is really cool. And that one chainsaw curve you almost got was actually really sick. Like that was a really sick curve. I was fucking pumped for a second. But man, your biggest downfall is just that you spend a lot of time just like dicking around and going for like unreliable plays when you're trying to find people. Like this whole ordeal at Shack where you were like going out of Whisper's range and then going back in and like being like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? Like what's going on? All this time, like you wasted like a whole minute and a half here. Even earlier, well, like whenever you chainsawed to that pallet or you chainsawed to that one gen, that was like way in the beginning of the game actually. You like chainsawed to that gen, and then when you got there, like this was also a terrible play right here, you know? Like it might not seem like a lot. Like I feel like a lot of new killers don't realize, like I give people so much shit for this. Like coming over here and kicking this gen is such a huge waste of time. Like it might not seem like much, just taking like 2 seconds to do that, and then also taking like the 4 or 5 seconds to walk up here. It might not seem like a lot, but again, like the difference between doing this and then just looking for the guy whenever you get there, like if you got there and then just looked around, you probably could have found him really easily, and then bam, you could have been in a chase. You could have had another guy downed that would have got them off the generators, like meaning like because they would have had to come unhook them. Like you just need that. You need that constant pressure. Like if you're having like big like 20 to 30 second or even like minute and a half breaks where you're just doing nothing, chasing nobody, not really looking for people, you're kind of just like dicking around and looking around and being like, hopefully I find somebody like through the magic of my eyes rather than just like, you know, going and looking for them. You're just wasting time, man. Like you need to get in there, you need to find them, you need to chase them and down them. There's just so much wasted time. I will say that I do think that you do get the general gist of Billy. Like you going for curves and stuff was really cool. I really think that you need to stop respecting pallets and trying to chainsaw them. That's really bad. But I definitely do think that you got the general gist of Billy. And I think you're going to be a good Billy if you practice them more and more. But I think your biggest weakness is your time efficiency. And I think that's about all I have to say. I'm going to stop this video now because if I don't, I'm going to keep ranting. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to rant anymore. I know I already ranted enough. I don't want to rant anymore. I'm going to end it there. So thank you for submitting. I appreciate it. For real. I really do appreciate it. That was that was a fun game to watch. If you guys want to submit footage yourself, you guys can get on Discord, hop into my Discord, and then send me a DM that is a link to a YouTube video like this one of your footage. Make sure that the footage is bad, please. I've had a lot of people send me footage recently that is like them 4K'ing at like 4 gens. And like that's not something I want to review. I don't want to use my YouTube channel as a fucking platform for you to flex your best fucking killer games. You know what I mean? I want you to send me a game like this one where, you know, you don't really do so hot. So yeah. If you want a game to be reviewed, feel free to send me one in, and I'll get around to it eventually. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to sub to the channel if you guys haven't already. I am trying to upload videos around 2 to 3 times a week. Also, if you guys haven't been to my live streams yet, Twitch is actually my main platform, and I'm live on there 6 nights a week from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern time. I'm there like every night hanging out. We have a good time and we have some good laughs. So feel free to stop in there sometime too if you'd like. The links are below for the Discord and for my Twitch stream. And thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. I'm out of here. I'll see you later. See ya. I'm out of here. See ya. I'll take care. See ya. I'm out of here. See ya. See you later. See ya.